This is Josh Jelinski, the financial quarterback. Don't touch that dial.
The magic's fading. Consumerism is bankrupting America. For over 50 years, going to Disney World has always been the best gift you could give your kids for vacation, according to some. Taking your family to the happiest place on earth used to be a lot easier, though. Now it's nearly bankrupting families. When Disney World opened in 1971, tickets were $3.50 per person. It was a lot easier to give your family the magic of Disney. Today, Disney hosts more than 58 million guests every year, offering abundantly more than they did back in 1971. But these Disney vacations that kids used to dream of have gotten exponentially more expensive and impossible for families.
Can you tell us your story about that? Have you taken your kids to Disney recently? Did your kids want to go?
We've kind of opted out of the Disney consumerism experience. But I will tell you what, one of my best memories as a kid has to do with Disney. And that memory caused my mother to hurl our family into bankruptcy. One day, I think I was in 6th grade, maybe 7th grade. I was all set to go to Willow Valley. So we had no money growing up, but Willow Valley was one of these nice things you'd go. They'd have something called the Smorgasburg. So I was so excited that we were going to Willow Valley. We didn't have any money, so that was a great place to go to as a kid. But turns out my mother and father were driving up the New Jersey Turnpike. And all of a sudden, Rose, we're not in Pennsylvania, Dutch country, where everything smells like manure. And I woke up, kind of took a little doze, and I see the Budweiser. I'm like, where are we? Because I'd never been on a plane ride. We never had the money. Then my mom and dad like, we're going to Disney World. And I hugged my mom and said, oh, this is the best thing. Oh, this is a dream come true. It's the greatest day of my life. And that must have linked something for my mother and father. You know, you get these things that create powerful memories of connection and meaning, where you're equating an experience with a supernatural reality or a quality like love. Somehow the memory of what my sister and I did signaled to my mother, I got to get my kids Disney World. Like, I got to bottle this up forever. And she was obsessed with Disney ever since that moment. Now, she liked Disney. We liked the Disney movies, but I think it was that day. She would always say, oh, you can't believe that how grateful you were. And she was so excited that we were just filled with gratitude. But what was that experience that Disney was bottling up for her? Now, by the way, I didn't even talk about going to Disney World and the teacups and it's a small world after all. And all of these beautiful experiences. And it was a glorious time. I mean, don't get me wrong. Funny thing is, I took my kids there and it didn't have the same meaning for us. So we've stopped going to Disney World. So the show is about consumerism, but it's more than about consumerism. It's about untethering your state of being from something you're spending money on. Disney has, I believe, because they've linked an expense with an indelible memory of love, gratitude, appreciation, whatever you know what I mean? Like, they're getting you to transcend your pocketbook. That's so dangerous, right?
Disney bought the IP for Marvel and Star Wars, and they spent a lot of money, and they're now, they basically commoditized the entirety of content and entertainment. And in doing so, they put it all under their banner, and they charge you more to come to experience all this stuff. And the more stuff that they buy, that's more things that people are fans of. And so it just gives more reason to beg your parents to take you to Disney.
In June 2024, LendingTree published the results of a survey of over 2,000 people that found that 45% of parents with children under 18 who have gone to Disney went into debt for the trip. Today on The Financial Quarterback, we're going to break down how much a Disney trip used to cost families and how much it leaches from them today, plus some savings tips and alternate vacation ideas to make sure you're not going into debt because of Mickey Mouse. I think they should slap a warning. You know, they have the Surgeon General warning over cigarettes. They should have the financial quarterback warning over your Disney purchase may cause bankruptcy. I bet you it's caused more bankruptcies than people realize.
Oh man, there's this video. It's the saddest video I've seen in a while, but it was this woman handcuffed being escorted out of Disney and her two kids. Her kids were just screaming, Ayúdame, Ayúdame, and she was getting walked out. And it turns out she said the kids were under 2 and hid them underneath the stroller and she got caught. And it's just that's where we're at. It's so sad. And those kids are going to be scarred from that experience.
Disney World opened in 1971. The price? $350 or $27.33 when adjusting for inflation. As the park got bigger and added new rides and features, the price kept rising. By 1981, the price increased $1.50 or $33 in today's dollars. This was also the last year fans were able to get tickets for less than $10. 20 years after its opening, Disney World added more resorts and spas. They had over 23 million guests passing through every year. They were paying $33 for a guest pass, or $76 in today's dollars. A year later, they opened Splash Mountain. And a year later, the Tower of Terror. I remember that as a kid. In 1999, they found more ways to get people to pay more by adding the Fast Pass system. By Disney's 30th anniversary, tickets at the park were $48 or $85 adjusted for inflation. 2015, tickets officially jumped to $105. Disney also changed the annual pass or the Platinum Pass, and the premium annual pass became the Platinum Plus Pass. A year later, they adopted a new tier pricing system, changing the value of one-day tickets based on the calendar date. This meant some parks cost more than others, so visitors needed to be more strategic. Today, tickets are $109 depending on what day you go or what park you go to.
Do you think these are standard for how much they've jumped in prices over the years? Is this just the natural progression?
Yeah, I mean, is it inflation? I'd be curious what the inflationary jump is.
I mean, it's a little bit of what we had talked about, like them getting IP and having more features, and that just adds to the cost.
There are different kinds of tickets that you can buy at Disney. At Disney, adults are considered to be anyone 10 or over, while child tickets are for ages 3 through 9. Anyone under age 3 is admitted for free. Tier system. They categorize their tier system 6 months in advance. There are single-day tickets grouped into tiers based on what day you want to visit. Higher demand periods, weekends, and holidays are higher tiered. Multi-day. Per-day prices tend to decrease the longer you stay. There are also add-ons you can pay for, like a one-day park hopper, which is $65, which allows entry into a single park per day. But then you can also hop between parks with the park hopper additional charge. I get why you would want to do that, but having gone to Disney a lot as a kid, we would plan an Epcot day. The only reason you would park hop is if you're going with a group and then somebody doesn't like Epcot, but you want to go to the restaurant at Epcot. I remember Epcot had great restaurants. Disney's new Lightning Lane Premier Pass allows visitors to skip lines at Disneyland and Walt Disney World, but at a steep cost, $449 per person at Magic Kingdom. The pass is limited to deluxe or villa resort guests and offers one skip the line ride per day. What do you mean one skip the line ride? I thought that's why you pay $500 extra. You get to skip the lines. So you pay and you don't get guaranteed.
There'll be one really, really good roller coaster that's a 2-hour wait, and you can use it for that. That's crazy.
Here's the thing. With all of Disney's innovations, why haven't they innovated on the line concept? Well, why did they start it, I wonder?
Because lines were getting too long, so they wanted to incentivize people. And it started as, you put down a reservation right here and you go do other stuffs. And then it got so complicated when they got so big. And yeah, now it's just a mess. And now they just have to charge a lot of money.
The pilot program highlights Disney's ongoing push to monetize line skipping privileges, which were once free. When was line skipping privileges free?
You would reserve a time and then you would go do other stuff. And then when your time came up, you would go.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't view standing on a line as a vacation. So we're going to go over what one day costs for one person. Up to $170 for the park ticket. It's about $100 on a meal, between $286 and $877 on a hotel room. Just for one person, $575 roughly for one day for one person. Crazy. Actually, it was just announced in early October that there was a 6% price increase on most Disney parks and a price increase between 6 and 20% on annual passes. Mindy Marzek, who runs the travel site thisfairytalelife.com, said she always jokes that 3 things in life are certain: death, taxes, and Disney parks raising prices. The average cost of a family of 4, including 3 meals per day, on the Disney property and overnight stay at a Disney-owned hotel, one night is between $1,227 and $2,332. 3 nights between $2,783 and $6,075. And 7 nights, get this, between $6,463 and $15,559. Talk about debt. Tickets. Just on tickets alone, you would be spending $2,572 for 5 days. Hotels between $286 and $877 a night. Meals. Per meal, it's about $20 for counter service and up to $100 for table service at a fancier restaurant.
How much does taking a vacation take away from the income the parents can earn?
If it's a Disney vacation, I mean, I'm thinking, you go away for a week, it's 15 grand, 10 grand.
How much should parents start saving? How can they start saving? And do you think it's irresponsible to do that?
If you don't have disability insurance, life insurance, an emergency fund, and a retirement plan that you're putting money into, it is very irresponsible. And I would say avoid it, save up. But, I'm fine with you going once.
Timing is key for this because I think a lot of parents, they want to give their kid the first Disney experience. And so they take them when they're like 2 or 3 years old. And it's like, they're not even going to remember this.
I would say wait till the kid is like 10, 11, 12.
Well, 10, so they can still get the discount.
First, if you think you found a deal that may be too good to be true, you may be getting scammed. There are a lot of illegitimate deals to Disney on social media now. Next, save on park tickets using sites like Getaway Today or Undercover Tourist. Even saving $20 per day per ticket adds up. Then use your credit card to take advantage. Sometimes buying vacation packages or taking advantage of points deals goes a long way. Then travel during off-peak days. If you can make it work with your schedule, buying off-peak tickets can save as much as $50 per ticket per day. Then consider buying discounted gift cards. Virtually everything you spend money on at Disney World can be paid for with Disney gift cards. This applies to hotel rooms, park tickets, meals, snacks, activities, souvenirs. Disney gift cards don't typically go on sale at a huge discount, but even a 5% discount can make a huge difference in your total bill. You can find some of these at Target, Costco, or Sam's Club. Don't eat at the parks. You can bring food into the parks like Little Joshy Fisher and into your hotel room. Then do your research. Don't just buy everything because someone online says you need it. And then, this may ruffle some feathers, but avoid souvenirs.
What are your thoughts on souvenirs? Do you buy souvenirs when you go on trips?
I try not to because it just ends up in a garage sale. However, I've been suckered into many souvenirs. They're always like some cheap toy made in China that your kids break when they go home. The mouse ears I'd be okay with. but not much more than that.
What are some other ideal family vacations that might not break the bank like Disney?
I think RVing is very big. We have friends and they're just going to RV parks all throughout Florida. And think about how cheap that is. They're taking off from now till like March. When I think about Disney, I so love my memories just where there's no entertainment and you're just entertainment is each other, you know, like playing board games with your kids.
Yeah, but it's hard to convince a kid that, hey, this is our vacation. We're going to sit and play board games.
Spending special time with your family is important. Don't just throw money to Disney or anywhere for that matter, because it's the most obvious fun vacation. There are plenty of alternatives for much less money. Absolutely do not go into debt to take your kids on a vacation that they may not even remember. If you don't know how to start budgeting for a family vacation, contact a financial advisor to help talk through ways to save and budget so that you can truly enjoy time with your loved one.